Why, hello. I didn't see you there.
Can I tell you something?
You just dropped in on us having a podcast.
I was right over here half an hour ago, off stage to the direction where my arm is pointing and can't be seen.
And now you're there.
I was over there, and I could hear the control room guys. I've been misspeaking lately. I might have your
The control room, they're making a big fucking rug.
They're weaving tapestries in there. The control room guys, I was over here, and they were doing the rehearsal about half an hour before we go live. And then they went, all right, okay, countdown 30, all right, roll front spot. All right, 10 seconds before, run the intro in 5, 4, 3, 2, live. And everybody in the control room went, hey. That was their impression of us. Is they went,
hey. You know what's? I heard that too.
Guys.
I also heard it. I was a little insulted.
Wow.
A little more energy.
Wow,
it was
control
the
room.
most unenthusiastic.
I mean,
like,
it's kind of accurate, to be fair.
Yeah.
We're mostly like, hey.
We're in power save mode until we go live. It's power save. We're like a video game console. They're just leeching your electricity slowly.
hate eating ice cream with other people because this is actually my pet peeve with eating in silverware. I hate the way other people leave ice cream on a spoon. Like if I get a scoop of ice cream and I eat it, spoon comes out of my mouth, it's clean. It doesn't come with that like flattened layer of like mouth
Well, that's
cream.
what it is. You've got the curve. You've got the curve of the spoon, and it's the perfect like topped off layer.
And then
Man,
they
it's
go,
got like those divots
then
in
they
it
go,
from
you
your
want a
lip.
bite? It's like, no. You've been running that across the roof of your mouth. It's
So what are you talking about here?
just people.
People you live with?
No,
People who
no.
would necessarily offer you a bite of ice cream from their mouth.
Just randomly over my life, it's
Okay.
been a pet peeve of mine. And actually, you set me off for a long period of time. Gavin has the confidence to say things as though they're rules, even though they're not in any way. Gavin one time convinced me it was completely improper etiquette to ever switch your fork and your knife in your hand while you're eating.
See, we've had this conversation. I don't think this ever happened.
You absolutely told me this. And I believed
I
you for
just
like a
said
year. I was conscious about not switching my
You
hands.
thought that was bad etiquette?
He told me it was. Why would
What's
you
worse
never
is
do
that's
it?
stupid that you went along with it. You're like, oh, I can't switch it. Like,
That's
fuck,
actually-
fuck etiquette. Fuck the rules. Put your elbows all over that table. Fuck it. I don't cares. I hate that shit. I'll put my elbows on any table. President's across from me? Fuck it. Elbows on the table. I'll switch my fork and my knife all night. I don't give a fuck.
You leave ice cream on the
That's actually
spoon.
better etiquette.
I
is
think
switching
it
after you
is.
cut.
I think you are supposed to switch.
Yes.
But I don't think it's either British people don't do it or I don't do it, and I'm rude. But it makes no damn sense to switch.
Because you eat
It
with
totally
your right
makes sense.
hand.
No. Like
What
here,
I'm talking about here is if
fork,
you're eating
knife. There's none of this, Paul.
Yeah,
Slopping all over the
I
place.
usually will cut, set my knife down, and then switch to my.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
that's what I
it would
do.
be weird eating with the fork in your left hand.
Gavin literally told me it was improper etiquette.
I
Do
think
you
the
look at the
reason is-
time on your left hand?
Yes.
Weird.
First of all,
Is-
don't-
oh my
how
god.
weird
Oh my
is
god.
that?
Is this the same motion as this?
It's pretty much close, isn't
No,
it?
it's not even close.
I think
By
I
the
can
way,
explain
Also,
this for you
this,
guys very
putting the
simply.
fork in your mouth requires a lot more precision and like fine motor skill to like get it in there just right.
I think
Well, my
it's
motor
because
skills are great.
it's better etiquette to eat like this with the fork rather than when you cut, your hand's like this, so it's going like that.
How about this then?
I like the way
Have it- I
Barbara
don't
did
know.
that too.
Flip it.
The way Barbara held the fork was like this, as opposed to you guys who was doing this, like this fist monkey grip with silverware. Like
I do a, I do a
why would you even?
I can't wait to see the gif of that.
Why would you even bother with? How dare you?
I'm just gonna start smashing all my food and just picking it up.
It's not a bad idea.
Spaghetti.
I was really
One noodle at a
tempted.
time.
We have pizza, and Gus brings in pizza every Monday before the podcast.
Meryl.
Now it's Mariel.
Oh, Mariel brought it in?
Yeah.
So the pizza came in, and like everybody all at once when the pizza came, and they were all patiently waiting, and she set up like the 3 pizza boxes on the table, and everybody was sitting there watching, and there was like this moment of like it was taking a little bit longer than it should have, but everyone was super patient. I was so tempted to just walk up and take all the pizzas and throw them on the ground. Just because everyone was...
What the hell is wrong with
I don't
you?
know, there was such a
you
high
want to
level-
do that? You talked about flipping people's coffee cups? Like, are you just trying to piss people off?
Oh, I don't want to reveal that I'm doing that. You
already did.
Well,
just
it
wanna
hasn't
cause a
worked yet.
commotion.
Everyone's caught it.
Yeah,
Basically,
wait,
the coffee.
Wait until it's done. Wait till it's done.
Okay. Yeah.
So I moved, and you know there's that animated adventure about me wanting to cancel the gas service for everyone on my block?
Yeah, you want to turn off everyone's gas.
Right, because the previous homeowner had turned off my gas, and it was a mistake, and they wanted to charge me a reactivation fee. There's an animated adventure about it. If you don't know the story, go watch it. Well, since I'm moving, I had to call the gas company to transfer my service to my new address. So I call them. They're like, okay, hey, I was like, I want to transfer my service. They say, great. What's the password on your account? And I say, password? I don't have a password on my account. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I can't do anything to your account. It says here, I have a note that says, no one is allowed to touch your account without the password. I'm like, I don't know what it is. He's like, my hands are tied, sir. It's very explicit instruction. I cannot do anything in your account without the password. So I say, what letter does it start with? And he tells me, and I say, I have no fucking idea.
I'm surprised he was allowed to tell you that.
First letter, and then I say, there's no way that it could be that. And he goes, really, you can't guess it based on this first letter? I say, well, that's a different letter than you told me the first time. Which one is it? He goes, oh, it's this one. Okay, well, I know what the password is then. And so I say it, and he goes, okay, good. Now I can help you. And then he's, the guy's typing, putting in the new address, and he says, wow, it is literally in every comment field on your account.
Because you're a jackass.
It says, do not change any of this without the password. He says, I've never seen this before. Literally, every field, every page of your account says, ask for the password.
Wow.
And I said, yeah, I got kind of mad once.
That's awesome that they actually implemented that.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say they will and then they don't.
I like how you didn't remember what past Gus did with all the passwords and stuff like
I know.
that.
I have no idea. It was
You were just
past
mad at
Gus in a fit of
yourself.
rage,
Yeah.
just saying shit because he was angry.
I used to know somebody who worked at a stock market call center. They worked for a broker.
Oh, God.
One of the big ones.
Stressful.
And they had pages and pages of or notes they could leave on customers, like just personal interaction notes. Like, this guy called and he was a total jackass. Don't give out his password. She got a call one time and it took a while to load the profile because the customer notes page was 6 pages long. And immediately, big cap says, immediately get hold of your manager and have them monitor the call. And then they said a note from someone else, I'm gonna start prioritizing these in order of severity. And the highest one on the list was that the person went into their local branch, didn't get the information that they wanted, so they pulled off their pants, sat on the floor, and then urinated. And it was just the worst customer ever, and just would not let go.
Wow.
And so the person I knew would sit there and was answering all the questions directly by the manager, just stared at them. They were just ready to jump on this, but it was a very uneventful call without urination or anything.
We when we worked
Or so
at
they
the
think.
when we worked at the call center, we definitely had some customers that became well known. Nothing on the level of walking into an office and pissing all over
Do
the
they
place.
pee down the phone?
But I know there was one customer who called, who I talked to, who was convinced. How did it go? She would go she would go rambling on these weird tangents. So we were a help desk for people with dial-up internet. So people who had trouble connecting to the internet would call us, and we would help them get the computer connected to the internet. So while I'm helping this woman, she starts going on this tangent about how AOL sneaks into her house at night and changes her TV to CBS, and she knows it because she never watches CBS, but when she wakes up in the morning, the TV's always on CBS, and AOL's out to get her, and that she could sometimes see the black helicopter circling over her house.
Right? Lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
People will say, oh, I'm crazy, or oh, that guy's crazy. Or I dated this girl, she was crazy. Then at some point in your life, you run into legit disconnected from reality.
Like
crazy.
Michael's neighbor.
Yeah, like that dude.
People, when you're talking to them, you fear for your life. You
just
fear
because
sudden
they're not in your world.
Yeah.
So your life means nothing to them.
There was
you operate in their plane of existence.
There was another one who claimed she was having trouble connecting. It was another woman. She was having trouble connecting to the internet, and what was the threat she made? She said that her family got to Kennedy, so they sure as shit could get to me.
I remember that threat she made.
What?
Yeah, I was like, what are you saying? She's like, you heard me. I was like, I'm just trying to help you get on the internet, lady. I don't know what you want.
I can tell you exactly what her quote was. I remember it perfectly.
Okay.
She goes, listen, buddy, I know the Connolly family, and if we got to Kennedy, we can get to you. That's what she said.
Yeah,
right?
that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
The Connolly family was I think John Connolly was the guy that was riding in the limo with John Kennedy.
in the front.
Yeah, he's like a Texas dude, somebody high up in Texas, high society or something like that. John Connolly, right? Isn't that right?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that right.
Did you see that United flight that got diverted because the emergency slide deployed midair?
Oh, God. How? Did the door come off?
No, it deployed into the galley. It was the rear, in the back of the plane, where the galley is and where the
Wow.
door is back there.
Retrograde.
There were pictures of it, it's just filled with emergency slide.
God, imagine if someone was stood there.
Yeah, the passengers say
Blasted.
that they were sitting there, then they heard a loud pop, and they all turned around, and the slide was just in the galley.
I know a
never
guy
heard
that was
that.
on a plane when all the oxygen masks dropped, and he said that was the loudest sound on the planet.
He said it was like 50 shotguns going off. or
Yeah,
something.
he said it was just.
And
like,
then everyone vomited and the plane plummeted and doesn't sound pleasant.
what happened first is the little old lady in front of him peed herself all over his shoes, and then they took the plane straight down to 10,000 feet from like 35,000 feet, and they had to fly the rest of the way.
Which is very bumpy.
Yeah, at 10,000 feet, which is hot and bumpy.
You know, I a few weeks ago I talked about how I like that Air Disasters TV show,
Why do you do that?
and I watched the episode with that value jet crash. I don't know if you remember it. It crashed in,
the Everglades?
Florida. Yeah, in the Everglades.
And all the alligators ate all the people.
And yeah, awful. They
it happened. I know.
they the reason that plane crashed is because oxygen generators in the cargo hold went off, and these are the oxygen generators that normally sit above you that generate the oxygen for your mask.
What do you mean they went off?
They activated, like they started producing
Oh,
oxygen.
is that the? I know the air incident you're talking about. That was the one.
That was the one. And
They were shipping these things, and they were machines that create oxygen, and one of them got stuck on,
Yeah.
or something like activated
So
in
it
the
just
cargo.
filled it with
hold.
oxygen.
no. Well, the problem is that they get really hot when they create oxygen because it's a chemical reaction. When they create oxygen, they get really hot. And the person who was shipping them thought they were empty and inactive, but they had just never been used. So he
no.
just like threw them into a cardboard box. It got really hot. It lit the cardboard box up, and like everything just caught fire.
Holy
And then
shit.
they were just pumping out oxygen into a fire.
Because
environment.
normally that is an airtight space, so if there is a fire, it just burns out. But these things were just creating oxygen to feed
Wow.
the fire.
That's awful.
So maybe like, I never thought about how hot those things get. Like they have to have a heat shield on them, so if they ever activate in flight, that they don't burn the plane down or they don't burn you.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So apparently
Good
those
to
things
know,
get
though.
fucking hot as shit.
How much was
No.
this couch?
I don't know.
You bought it.
I paid for it.
You not like it?
No, I like it. It just looks expensive. It's all like,
It does.
It's not as expensive
We
as
also
you
have a
would
new
think.
rug to go.
I like
with
it
our
because
new
it's
couch.
smaller than the last one. It brings us all in like.
yeah, I can almost touch Barbara's eye.
We had to hurry up and buy a new couch because Burnie threatened to destroy the old couch if we didn't replace it.
I don't like the size of the couch. It like spread us out too
I
far.
thought you were gonna take it for your office too.
No, I know,
It-
but I was gonna now that this.
Also, this couch is just as big. We just sit in different
No,
places.
it's
on it.
No.
it's smaller.
significantly smaller.
If we sat all the way,
I'm closer to
yeah,
Gus.
we're brought in also.
I'm way closer to Gus.
I'm
now.
the same. Like, if we sat where the other one was, it's the same.
It doesn't matter. It brings me and Gus closer, which brings me
Oh,
closer
so it's
to
all
you.
about you and Gus.
It brings me closer. It's smaller. It's less room in
It's
the
smaller.
fucking
Yeah,
stage.
do you want me to bust out a fucking tape measure? The old couch is over there.
I do, because I don't believe you that you're actually closer.
Look, look
Patrick
at that right there. Look how close Gus and I are compared to how we normally
What were you like
I
before?
He literally has.
We were like that, Gavin, but further fucking away from each other. Exactly like that.
you're gonna measure. Oh wait. We're measuring the couch right now.
Are you guys
Stop it.
measuring the
Put
same
it to the
thing?
edge, yeah. 85. 85 inches on the new couch. Look at that.
I know. I'm
All right,
trying,
we'll
I'm trying
go
to
and
get
do the
hit
other
your
one.
hands.
Accurate.
Gus is gonna now go and measure the second couch, the old couch.
You should sit in Gus's seat for a second there, Gav.
I'm going to.
This is gonna be quite a moment.
How you feeling?
Whoa.
Gavin is now
I feel so close to you.
in Gus's
Weird.
chair.
95.
10 inches.
10 inches.
A foot. It's a foot. When you're talking about like butt width, that's pretty good.
10 inches
Practically
isn't
a
a
foot.
foot.
It's Gavin, don't fucking start with me.
It's a metric foot.
How many bones are in your head?
All of them.
You're red.
Thanks. I have kept all of my bones in my head.
Like, you're talking about like your skull, your
You got
jaw.
32 teeth. You count teeth as bones?
Well, yeah, no. Well, the ear
Gavin?
bones.
Yeah,
they're,
no.
Wait, Gilbert. You got 32 teeth.
they're not
You got a
bones, though, really.
jawbone.
Yeah.
You got plates in your head. I think you got like 5 or 6 of those.
And the jaw isn't the skull.
It is too. Why not? Wouldn't it be?
Well, it's a different bone, isn't it?
Then the skull?
Well, skull's a bone.
Gavin,
could jaw
if
be
it's
a-
one bone is the skull, then the answer to your question is 1. How about
Wait,
that?
What do you mean?
Because you're drawing these
What
fucking
do you
arbitrary.
mean?
You're like, how many bones are in your skull? And I say the jaw. I go, well, that's not a different bone than the skull. So if there's only one skull bone, then your answer to your question is fucking 1.
So the jaw's
You're
not a part of the skull.
You're splitting.
I'm asking you if the skull.
You said it's a different bone.
The jaw's a different bone to the skull.
Are you asking about the head?
So if
or
you're
just
saying
the
it's a different
skull?
bone than to the skull, then the skull is its own bone. So the answer to your question is how many bones are in the skull? 1. Because all the other bones are different than the skull bone. All of them. including the jaw, including the fucking teeth.
So a skull, when you hold a skull, you're holding the head minus the lower teeth and jaw.
So you're specifically eliminating the teeth and the
No,
the lower
the bottom
teeth.
teeth.
No, just the bottom teeth. Don't be stupid, Burnie.
But why are you getting rid of that? Like, I understand why you get rid of all the neck bones because you're saying it's the head part. But
What
why
neck
would you
bones
get
are
rid
you
of the
talking about?
jawbone?
Spine.
Why are you drawing the line?
I think the reason, if I may interject on Gavin's behalf, I think the reason he draws the line there is because the lower jaw is only connected through connective tissue. So if you lose that tissue and just go down to bone, the lower jaw falls away.
Aren't all your teeth the same way then too?
No.
Why?
Teeth are lodged in the bone of the skull and the jaw.
I believe he is correct.
Well, they are in there, but they're like held. They're held in place
they're not
by
bones.
connective tissue. The roots of the teeth hold them in.
Well,
Yeah, you need to define this a little better, Gavin. I'm trying to help you
You
out
tell
here.
me. You tell me.
I was just asking, if you have a skull,
What's the answer you're looking for? We'll agree.
if you have a skull,
I have a skull.
you're just holding the top layer of teeth and the rest of the head.
Okay, so you're saying let's get rid of the jaw. You're saying it's not.
I'm saying
it
that's
doesn't
not the
count.
skull.
Okay, so you have 16 teeth in the top of your mouth.
Well, you're so obsessed with the teeth.
Because you're asking me, Gavin, you're asking me how many bones are in my skull. And then I'm counting them for you. I'm doing exactly what you're asking
Why
me
are
to
you so
do.
obsessed with the bones?
I'm doing, why are you so busy counting? I'm doing exactly what you asked me to do. You asked me how I'm trying to go along with you.
said how many
And
bones in
you're
that-
stopping
You
me
know-
every
I said how
step
many
of the
bones
way.
in the
He's
head.
fighting you. Like you're stupid for trying to figure it out.
Wait.
You don't classify teeth as a bone?
You just said all the teeth. I even asked you at the beginning of this. You count the teeth, and you said no, yes, no. So okay, let's go over this one more
Well,
time.
I was thinking,
How many bones are in the skull?
no, the skull's a bone. How many bones in that? How many bones are in the head?
Does your head include your jaw?
Your head has to include your...
You get
Oh
to count. No.
So now we're counting the lower jaw.
If you talk about the head, I was asking-
You said the head.
that's what I was trying to find out. Was
You're mental.
whether if you had a skull, would you have the lower teeth? And I guess you wouldn't because.
That's not all this is about.
Is that really what this is all about?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure it out. Oh my god! But I guess the skull is only the top teeth
Oh my god.
and all the rest of the head and that.
Oh my god. Why'd you ask it that way then?
I was
hey,
just-
Gus, how many bones are in your feet? Because I want to know if you're wearing shoes. How many? Why did you ask that? Why didn't you ask
It
them
was
to
an
include?
evolving question. Like the more you talk, the more questions I had.
It was not an evolving question.
No, in my head, I was just like coming up with more questions to it because I was thinking about the bones in your ear. Are they in your head? And yeah,
You mean all the little bones in your inner
like
ear?
the stirrup.
Yeah. So you count that.
Yeah, I
even
was
though.
just wondering how many bones are in your head, and then I was like, is the skull to your jaw as well? Is that separate?
Well, now I'm wondering. So if you have a skull, like say you have a person, and you just
Decapitate it.
set them in a chair,
Right.
and they die, Ugh. And then they rot away, and you come back in like 3 years, and they're just a skeleton sitting there. They're just a skeleton sitting in the chair, and then you take the skull, whether or not the spine comes with it, and the neck, and the jawbone, teeth doesn't matter. Are the little bones in the ear? Can you like rattle it and knock those things out? Could you like
Yeah.
shake those
Would
out?
they fall out?
I
don't
didn't
know.
hear
I
a
don't-
single thing you said after
Like, what's
you made
the
that death
cochlea?
impression.
I think there's three.
That's
in
not
the-
a bone.
There's 3 ear bones, right? And one of them's
What is this? Like cartilage?
I think so. Yeah.
one of them's the smallest bone in the head, in the body.
The
right?
stirrup?
Yeah. And there's 3 bones in your ear.
I think so. I don't know the other ones. I know the stirrup
Anvil, right? The anvil's
Anvil?
one.
and the drum. I used to know this. That's like
The baton.
Just
I think
put
it's like
this-
fourth grade science.
Put this conversation to bed. Google how many bones are in a head.
How many bones are in your head? It's gonna be like people arguing.
Take the head off the top of the spine.
How
This
many?
is going to be evidence in a trial. Your Honor, I submit that Mr. Burns performed a Google search asking how many bones are in the head. That's totally like creepy serial killer.
Do you want
Google
your skull or head?
Do you head?
Well, how could there be more than one bone?
Real
in the s-
precise, proper zoom. From Twitter.
That's awesome.
How
I'm sorry,
many
internet. I'm sorry about
Who
this.
sent that in?
bones?
I feel bad for just leaking my brain to the internet podcast.
Why not? That's entertaining.
Well, I mean, it's entertaining for me, but
How many? There are 29 bones in the human head.
Nice.
It's just gonna be. Are we? I'm on this page, funtrivia.com.
And I take it because there's
Fun
only
trivia is the
29.
best trivia.
There's only 29 that there's no teeth included there.
They consist of 8 cranial bones,
So we have 21 left,
14 facial bones,
7 left,
the hyoid bone,
6.
and 6 auditory ear bones. So I guess one,
Three on each
sets
side.
on each side. There you go. So,
So
they
the
don't.
skull is a bunch of bones.
The skull is 8 cranial bones, all the plates and stuff like that.
Oh, Christ.
And then
like the
14
Earth.
facial bones. I would not assume I have 14 bones in my face.
Well, you got your cheekbones.
Go ahead.
That's all I know.
I was about to say, you just ran out of bones for me.
Cheekbone?
You got cheekbones
Your
and that's
forehead
it.
bone. No, that's part of it.
This is the last week of the Indiegogo campaign too. We appreciate everyone's support, and if you could share it with your friends and let them know, especially mutual Rooster Teeth fans, I would appreciate it. And also, I want to say one more thing before we go.
Yeah.
A very good friend of ours, Ryan Wyatt, Fwiz, on Twitter, is having surgery today.
Oh.
And so we wish Ryan the speediest of recoveries.
Love you, Ryan,
Love you, Fweezy.
and love you guys.
This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by
Dysfunctional characters just talking over the top of each other.
I love that show. I need to have someone shove it to in my face. Otherwise, I just don't think I'll ever get around to it.
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
Podcast Day.
Hi.